more we learn in science, before Crick and his buddy discovered DNA, we didn't know that every cell was filled with complex information. We didn't know. And, in fact, Darwin said that he called a single cell a blob of protoplasm. I thought it was pretty simplistic. He didn't have an electron microscope. So in a way, the more scientists come to realize, oh, a single cell is more complex than the space station in both the hardware and the software. Oh, that's why we can't create one still out of Italy. That's why. I'm not no big Bill Gates fan, but a quote from him is that he said, DNA is far, far more complex than any software humans have ever written. Far, far more complex than any software system humans have ever written. So here, in every living cell, there's an information-rich system. And then, but information always flows from intelligence. It always points to intelligence.
No.
And so, information, complex information, doesn't come from lifeless matter.
We don't know that.
Or a mathematics. Well, I know this. I have a son-in-law that writes some really high-level software, and he gets paid a lot because software doesn't write itself.
Of course it doesn't, but it's not software.
Anyway. Sorry. Yeah. That's for privilege talking. I'm Dawson, by the way. Dawson here. You too.
So no debate for us, huh? Huh?
No.
No?
I'm not that wild about debating.
Why not? It's good to test yourself and, you know.
I don't need to test myself. I know what I know. I know what I believe. So
You believe in a character and a story, right?
I believe in an amazing God, awesome God, loves us. He even loves you, Ted.
Yeah, but you can't demonstrate it, so you're trying to sell something you don't have.
For me to demonstrate God.
What's that?
Our mere existence demonstrates God, but I don't.
No,
not for me to demonstrate God.
No, it doesn't. It demonstrates that we have parents. That's what it demonstrates.
No.
Yeah.
Our very existence, as I said, a single cell. We can't even create a single cell.
Just because we can't create a single cell yet doesn't mean that we won't be able to. It just means we don't know how yet. You're trying to say because we can't right now, we never will. And that's fallacious right there.
Well, we are made in the image of God, so we have incredible
Well, you don't know
minds,
that. That's part of your story.
I know that. I'm sorry if you don't.
Well, that's part of your story, right?
It is the story.
Well, it's a story you believe in, right?
But if you don't want to believe it, that's fine.
Because it can't be demonstrated.
But if the chemicals in your brain are telling you it's not true, then why do your chemicals want to argue with the chemicals in my brain?
Because
why?
Fallacious beliefs are bad for mankind.
Says who?
Do you think it's
good? The chemicals in your mind telling you that? Wait a minute, are the chemicals in your brain?
Why are you talking about chemicals in my mind?
Because you don't have a soul.
What is a soul?
That's why you don't have a soul, so you're just chemistry.
What is this? I didn't know what a soul is.
So the chemicals in your brain, which were organized randomly, because without design.
Okay, the word random doesn't apply.
So your brain, which came into existence through random mutations, mindless mutations. So your brain, which exists as the long end of a series of accidents, why would you trust the thoughts emanating from a plug
I don't know why you use the word
mindlessness?
Why you use a lot of bad words.
Why would you trust your brain?
Why wouldn't I trust my brain?
Well, because it's an accident.
Okay, accident is a really bad word.
Unguided. It's unguided. It's
what does it matter whether it's guided by evolution?
What is evolution?
I'll tell you since you don't know.
No, I do, but I want to see if you know.
Why don't you tell me what evolution is?
You asked me.
I don't think you know, so I'll tell you. Evolution is a change in the gene pool of a given species over one or more generations.
Where did the species come from? Where did the gene pool come from?
I don't understand.
Where did the species come from?
I don't understand why.
Why don't you understand simple questions? Obviously,
well,
your
you're
brain's
not asking. When did it come from?
I'm asking you to define it.
It evolved here on this planet.
Okay, so it evolved. You're using the word "evolved" to explain evolution.
Evolution is about evolving.
Yes. Okay, so where did the gene pool come from?
What is your point asking that question?
Where did the information come from for the genes? Genes are information.
Okay.
Where did it come from?
What's your point of asking?
Where did the information come from?
What's the point of asking the question?
You don't know anything. Where did life come from?
Oh, I don't know anything.
Where did life come from?
Oh, so I have to know where life comes from? Why do I have to know?
Because you're questioning me.
Why do I have to know where life comes from?
Where did life come from?
I'm not the one.
So you trust in your brain and you don't even know the answers
I'm not
to
the
these questions?
one who's saying I have all the answers. You are.
I didn't say I have all the answers.
No, you don't.
I said there's God, believe in God.
You said a God did it. You said a God did it. So you're
not a God. God.
You're assuming.
I never said a
whatever
God.
God you believe in.
No, I believe in the living God.
That's
the
a God. There's lots of gods on the
universe.
planet.
No, there aren't.
Anyways,
prove that there's lots of gods.
A lot of people believe in different gods.
Just because somebody believes something
exactly,
doesn't make it true.
Exactly.
And you believe evolution,
which is why
you believe evolution.
Evolution's a valid science.
It's not a valid science.
Well, of course
What's
it
the
is.
proof for evolution? Tell me what the fossil record says about evolution.
What do you mean about the fossil record?
The fossil record actually disproves Darwinian gradualism.
So you're not very well educated in evolution.
No, I am very well educated. I know this.
Then why would you say it doesn't exist if you knew about it?
What did Stephen Jay Gould say about the Darwinian
And how does that help? Wait, how does that line of questioning help you with your God belief? It doesn't. You're trying to exact science.
Why are you believing the thoughts coming from your brain? Your brain's an accident, my friend.
I don't know why you use the word accident.
That?
I don't know why you use the word
accident.
accident.
If something is not made
So you think your supernatural
design,
magic man is necessary for everything?
Listen, if you want to insult God, you do so to your own risk.
My own risk? I don't see anything around.
You're like an angry little flea on the
backside
backside of a
telling
great lion, and you're
that God came
challenging
down.
the beast.
You were over here telling him that God came down before,
it's
right?
history.
Right. So why isn't he here now? He's hiding?
He does as he pleases. He's God.
I know he's not around anywhere.
Well, why would he show himself to you?
Why would he show himself to anyone?
Well,
you know,
he shows himself to people who are humble. You're arrogant.
Oh, because I care about the truth.
No, you're arrogant. You don't care about truth.
I don't care about the truth.
All you
know
do is
truth
argue. You argue aside. You argue against God, and that's all you do.
I don't even know what a God is.
I know. All you want to do is argue against God.
I want
you come over here. You don't even take classes. You come over here to stir up.
I did take classes.
When?
Back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s, and you spend your day here arguing with people, showing how smart you think.
Isn't that a little better than what you're doing?
You're not very
Isn't that better than what you're doing?
No, I'm sharing life and the love of God.
No, you're sharing
and all you're doing
talking
is
about
trying
evil
to
before.
destroy people.
This
all
is
you
evil.
Want to do,
this is trying to convince
smart.
people of a lie that's not true is evil. You're trying to spread your delusion of a God in a Bible.
God's not true.
That's not true.
Prove that he's
By
not
telling,
true.
I don't. You're the one that has to prove he is true.
Who said that?
You have to demonstrate.
No, you're making that
rule. No, the one with the positive assertion must show that.
Where's that law written?
Oh, law written?
Yeah.
It's called common sense. It's called logic.
Common sense. Well, why isn't it common to the chemicals
Apparently it's not common with you.
Apparently not, but I want to know who made that law.
Yeah, so
can
you
think, show me?
So I can.
Can you show me
can
that
I
the
say
one
Spider-Man exists, and if you say he doesn't exist, I'll have to tell you, okay, prove he doesn't exist? How would you go about doing that? How would you show
maybe he does exist?
Oh, there you go. So anyone can make up anything, and it's okay, and it's real.
But if it's not true, I mean, it'll bear out over time.
Like your God not showing to exist and bears out over time, because there's no definition or good evidence to show it exists.
He's been patient with you, Ted.
What's that?
He's been patient with you.
What's that?
All of a sudden, the patience runs out on Ted, and you'll find out. Because all atheism.
So I should be worried about your imaginary friend.
No, atheism is a very temporary condition.
Everyone is born an atheist.
Very temporary.
Everyone is born an atheist.
How do you know that?
Everyone. Because
who gave you that
do you even know what atheism means?
No, who gave you that wisdom and knowledge?
What?
Who told you what everybody believes when they're born? What do you think you're
atheism is
you're
something
omniscient?
That's a problem.
Are you omniscient?
No, that's the problem.
So you know what every baby's thinking when it comes out of the womb?
You don't even know what atheism. You don't even know what atheism is. You don't even know what it is. You showed everyone.
A is without.
Exactly.
A theism is God. Without God.
No, without belief in God. Theism is belief in God. So atheism is without belief in God, which babies are because they're not capable of believing.
You don't know what they're capable of believing.
Oh, wow, dude.
What do you know?
So you don't know that babies aren't capable of belief.
You don't think babies think and
You
dream
say you know about evolution. You say it's not true. You're a classic preacher out here.
Thank you.
No wonder you wouldn't stand up against me in a debate. No wonder you're scared.
I'm not scared if you did.
Of course you are. Of course you are. You can't demonstrate your assertions. You're trying to sell something you don't have.
An angry little flea residing on the backside of a great lion.
Where's the great lion?
He was challenging the great lion to a fight. The little flea, and one day the lion shook, and the little flea went off into forever, and he was no more. The little flea, I don't believe there's a lion. I don't believe there's a lion.
Yeah, no.
Prove the lion.
Analogies are always used by you guys.
And one day the little flea
Analogies never work for you guys.
Bye, little flake.
Analogies never work.
Bye, little flake. Yeah. Bye, little flake.
Analogies don't work.
Bye. I don't want to be. Please back away. I don't want you near me.
No.
Yeah.
That's a problem because you're in public space.
Yes. Well, when you're in my public space,
there's no public
and you're
space.
antagonizing me, I may just need to call the police.
No, that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna work for you.
We'll see.
It's not gonna work for you.
Well, I'll go ahead and enjoy my.
You go ahead and
my preaching. If I
preach
decide
your about your stupid
God bless
imaginary
you.
magic man friend that doesn't exist. Everybody trying to do evil unto others by
I
getting
feel
to
bad
believe in
for
a
you.
lie that you believe in. That's bad.
I feel sorry for you.
I feel sorry that you have an imaginary friend as an adult. I mean, come on. Why not be a proper adult? Why don't you care about reality? Why don't you care
Reality is
about?
most
You should
adults
never
in the
believe in
world
something you
believe in
cannot
God.
demonstrate.
Most of the
If
people
you
in the
can't
whole,
demonstrate it, you shouldn't believe in it.
most of the people in the whole world believe in God.
No,
The far
I don't know
majority.
about most, but
Oh no, wait, most. But do you like
popularity does not make validity.
Okay.
Did you understand that?
Right.
Right. So then why
let's
even
apply
say that?
apply
See, you're
to-
not thinking straight.
apply that to
You're
science
not thinking
teaching.
straight. You're not thinking straight. You try to say, oh, all these people believe in it. That doesn't mean it's true. It just means a lot of people have issues with being reasonable and logical. All right, buddy. Get wrecked.
Well, I pray that the Lord opens your eyes one day.
Yeah, talking to yourself, pretending to speak to your imaginary friend is not really working at all for anybody. To tell you the truth. It doesn't really get anything done. What's that?
I said you're a hateful little flake.
I only hate.
Go away, little
I
flake.
hate fallacious
Go
beliefs.
away, little flake.
I hate beliefs
Go
which
away,
are
little
wrong,
flake.
which you try to
Go
propagate
away,
to other
little
people.
flake. Go away,
When you
little
try to
flake.
tell other people that
Bye,
something you
little
believe in
Bye, little Ted.
is true when it's
Bye-bye.
not, that is something to hate.
You're a sorry,
Because
you're a sorry
it's good
being.
to hate
You're a
something
hateful being.
which is
You're
bad
full
for
of hate.
mankind.
And you're full
And
of
spreading
evil.
lies to
And you're
people
full of
is
hate.
bad for mankind.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Spreading lies is bad.
I do.
But you don't realize that what you believe in is a lie. That's the problem. So when you're out here thinking you're doing something good, you're actually doing something bad. So,
Thank you.
because you can't demonstrate it. If you can't demonstrate it, then you can't show it's true. You can't show it's true, which means know what you believe in.
Thank you for.
Well, you know, if you actually use your brain a little bit and read a little bit, instead of pretending you've read and pretending you know stuff, you might be better off. Because truth matters. Truth always matters. I'm just trying to help you out, man.
Thank you.
Well,
I know where your heart is.
my heart's a muscle is right here around the left side of my body. It pumps blood. I don't know why we're jumping on that side. Okay. Metaphors and analogies is all you can use because there's nothing else.
Anything else you need to tell me?
I don't know, man. Have you read any Sam Harris or anything? Or Richard Dawkins or Christopher Hitchens? Have you read any of their books?
I've watched them be soundly thumped in debates by different Christian scientists that totally tore them up in debate.
Wow.
All of them.
That's
Dawkins.
not. If you see the world in a skewed way, I can understand how you can come around to that point of
Apparently
view.
you haven't watched the debate.
Yeah, you should really read the books. Really read the books.
Yeah, because the books only show one side, but when they're opposed,
Well, there's more
they don't
information that's
stand
going to be in
up.
the Bible.
They don't.
So more information is going to be in the Bible, that's for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, buddy. Have fun with your delusion.
Or if he asks for a fish, he'll not give him a snake. If you then being evil know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give what is good to those who ask? So it's kind of just showing the fatherhood of God. And that's what really helped me through it. I used to just repeat those verses like, yes, I'm asking for this, and he may not give exactly that, but he will answer, and it's because he's trying to give me the life I need and everything I need. And I don't know, that just really calmed me down to read those. So I'll write it down. Or maybe you're on your individual journey, maybe there will be some other thing that stands out that will speak to you on your Yes, that's the one that that's the one that is like.
What's up?
Right. You're interested in something?
I was just looking to see which religion this was, and I was listening to her for a second.
Yeah. We're just giving out Bibles.
Right, which religion?
Oh, we're Christian.
Yes.
Christian, okay.
Rules are all set. And in
Which
the end,
version of the Bible?
God gave him
This one is NIV, the New International Version.
Oh,
his family.
I see. It's only the New Testament, no Old
Yeah.
Testament.
Yeah, just New Testament.
Why do you guys take out the Old
But
Testament?
yeah, that one's tough.
We don't take it out. We just
I'm
bought
not gonna
these.
say, but it's that's
We have
faith that I
whole Bibles that we give out too, but I think these are a good place for people to start if they have no background.
Life doesn't go.
Start with the new one, so you don't have to deal with all the stuff that's in the old one, huh?
Yeah, we don't live under the Old Testament. We live under the New Covenant, the New Testament.
Well, Jesus did say that the Old Testament is not ignored.
It's not ignored.
Yeah, he says everything's still in place.
We can learn from it, from examples in it, but we're not under the Jewish law or the sacrificial system.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
But the moral law we're still under, which is the Old Testament. In the New Testament it says we learn from the Old Testament. But yeah, we read the Old Testament, but we don't live under it. Does that make sense?
no,
If so, we
I
have
think
to
you live over. I
sacrifice
think you
lambs.
quote unquote live under the whole Bible because you can't. None of it can be
Well,
dismissed.
there's three types of law. There's ceremonial law, and Jesus was the last sacrifice who fulfilled the sacrificial system, right?
Last, there was more before him.
Yeah, there were sacrifices all the time.
Well, it doesn't mean it was. Is that shown in the Bible?
Yeah,
Okay.
in Hebrews. He fulfilled the sacrificial system. He says no longer any sacrifices needed. Because I died for your sins. That was the last sacrifice. All those other sacrifices were pointing to him.
Why was a human sacrifice necessary?
There wasn't a human sacrifice.
Well, so Jesus was human, was he not?
Oh, why was he? Yeah.
So why was a human sacrifice necessary
Yeah,
for
because
forgiveness? Why couldn't God just forgive people?
Because he set up a law that the payment for sin is death. The wages of sin is death. 'Cause
So he sent himself down to kill himself so he wouldn't have to kill other people?
Yeah.
But why not just amend his rule then? Because if he's going to invalidate it, why does he just change the rule?
He's both loving and just. To hold up his just part of his character. That makes sense? He's loving and just. God demonstrates his love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us.
Well, that happened a long time ago, right?
2,000 years ago.
He doesn't do anything anymore, right? So how do
He
we?
doesn't die anymore, no.
So then, if he doesn't do anything now, then why should we believe that happened before? Because don't we need to continually have that happen? Because otherwise, it's just a story, right?
No, but he died for the sins of people, past, present, and future. He died for everybody's sin. He was the last sacrifice for everybody. We just need to simply believe in him and what he did. For it to account for us. That makes sense. It's like
That makes sense, but this happened apparently a long time ago.
yeah.
So why should we believe now that it happened then, if all we have is a story on it?
Because there's a lot of historical evidence.
But do we have historical evidence for extraordinary things? Do we have any? Because it's just a
Well,
story,
I think
right?
there's a lot of historical evidence about the.
Can't happen or impossible to
Like
happen.
miracles.
Yeah, like sticks turning to snakes, burning bushes talking, people walking on water. So, but the story about God sending down Jesus to be, and he sacrificed him and stuff like that. Why should we believe that actually happened?
Yeah, why should we believe in the resurrection? And the
Yeah,
crucifixion?
because it's not like resurrections happen today. I mean, you're dead for 15, 20 minutes, your brain's fried, right? You're not coming back.
No, you're not.
Hey, if I give you a book, would you read it?
On this topic.
On this
That-
topic?
What kind of is?
Probably not.
No? Okay. But there's this guy who set out to disprove this very thing.
Well, you can't really disprove a negative, right? I mean, you can't really disprove someone's... Like, if someone says something happened, you can't really disprove it. They have to prove
This
it,
guy
right?
was trying to disprove the resurrection that it happened.
Well, you could just do that just by saying that you can't live more than 15, 20 minutes without air to your brain, so you can't come back 3 days, so it's just impossible.
I guess, though, looking at the historical books, not only the Bible, but extra-biblical works of those times,
Yeah.
validated
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the Bible
but-
said.
that can't show us that actually happened. That could just going to say that maybe some parts of the story are true. Because a lot of stories written back then were written with some fact, but like a lot of fiction, right? That's how stories back then were written.
Yeah, but
So how do we know that? I mean, we can't just go by a story that something extraordinary happened, can we?
these are like eyewitness accounts. They're not like stories. These are eyewitness accounts of his life.
Because I say they're eyewitness accounts, right?
And they were with him. They weren't just after he died.
Right, but that's part of the story.
But there's more than just, it was like historical account of what happened.
Right, but can we show through history that an extraordinary event happened? Like, how can we use history to show that it happened?
I guess if this is a historical document.
Well, it's got a lot of things on it which we know can't happen unless there's some sort of magic involved.
Hi,
Right?
how are you?
The only thing we know historically
Uh-huh.
that we can see is that the followers of Jesus were initially pretty afraid when he got arrested and killed. They hid out, they ran away from him.
They deserted him.
His burial and taking down from the cross was not even handled by any of his relatives. You know, they were all kind of...
So you're trying to say he probably never died?
I'm saying that they came out with this story that he is alive and he's appeared to us. And they all changed a lot and they believed it.
But this is part of the story, though, because we can't verify that.
And the message spread from that. If not, the message would have been stamped out.
And all of his,
Well, we don't need something to happen to actually be believed. Something can be false and still be spread and believed to be true.
and all of his disciples but one were martyred for their faith. Who would die for a lie?
Well, a lot of people die for stupid reasons. I mean, people are
They
stupid.
All 11 out of 12
But they
of
really
them?
believed it. Is the
Well,
Yeah.
a lot of loonies who believe stuff are in white padded rooms right now. You know.
That is
Either
true.
Jesus was either Lord, lunatic, or liar. Jesus himself.
Unless he didn't exist.
Oh, there's a lot of extra biblical resources.
Nothing
like
during his
Josephus.
lifetime, though, really.
Yeah,
No.
Josephus.
Josephus was born after Jesus supposedly existed. And I think a lot of people say that it was interpolation to his work, right? Because there's only one little sentence, one little tiny paragraph that was put into his work. That was absent of earlier copies.
There was more
What's that?
extra biblical resources.
Yeah, but well after he existed, not during his lifetime.
I think there's a lot of historical evidence that he existed.
A lot of people say that, but then when you look at it, you see that it's nothing during his lifetime. They have to rely on stories after the fact. I mean, I'm always willing to be like, okay, I'll give it to you that he existed, and we can debate off that, but I think even his existence is kind of shaky.
Yeah. I wish you would read one of these books. Like, not these, but I have it in my backpack. About an atheist who try to disprove, kind of like who you are.
Yeah, you can't really... It makes no sense to try to disprove something, because someone who says something is true, they have the burden of proof to show that what they're saying is true. The skeptic doesn't have to try to disprove them. They have to present the good evidence, and then the skeptic goes over it and see if it's of value, if it actually shows that it's true. That's important to do.
Yeah, this guy, he tried to...
What was it?
Lee Strobel?
Oh, yeah, I heard about him, yeah. Well, see, and
No,
to
you
say
should read it.
that he's an atheist, I mean, everyone is technically born an atheist, so everyone starts off an atheist.
I don't know if he was atheist right now. I was thinking of Josh McDowell, who was an atheist.
Well, everyone
I
is...
don't know his background.
Everyone is either atheist or theist, one or the other. Agnostic is to modify your attitude to either atheist.
This guy was a journalist for Chicago Tribune, and he's like, can the biographies of Jesus be trusted? Do the biographies of Jesus stand up to scrutiny? Were Jesus' biographies reliably preserved for us? Is there credible evidence for Jesus outside of his biographies? It's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, well, you'll come to find books like that tend to not really cover.
But until you read this and investigate
Well,
the evidence,
that's
you
just
have no
you're assuming that
understanding.
there's information in there that I haven't come across yet.
Exactly.
Right. And that it might sound compelling, but in real-world discussions, no one has anything to refer to. So if you're trying to say that it's locked up in that book and no one's ever read it, so they can't bring it to...
This is this guy's research. It's not just in this locked up in this book. It's-
Okay, so then other people know about it.
Why don't you just read it, dude?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Ted.
Ted. I'm
Ted,
Craig.
nice to meet you.
Carlene.
Carlene.
Carly, what's up?
Ted.
Yeah.
I've been a person that across my life I'll suddenly, kind of like you said, the things in the Bible, there's a lot of miracles. There's a lot of stuff that is hard to believe. We don't see it happening.
I don't think you should believe in something that can't be demonstrated. Like, if you can't demonstrate it, then I don't think you should believe in it.
So what about this?
I can't demonstrate physics or any of that stuff, or gravity, or I can
gravity
demonstrate the result of it.
Gravity is a distortion of space and time, and we can demonstrate it. It's not that difficult.
I could demonstrate it.
Right. That's
the result of it.
No, that is you'll be demonstrating.
I can't show
gravity.
you the math.
Oh,
but yeah.
Well, that's different. But,
yeah. But anyway, my thing that helped me on my own faith journey was just seeing all of the prophecies that were written before.
Prophecies. First of all, there's not really any prophecies in the Bible, but even if there were and they're accurate, that doesn't mean that you can make up a reason why they're accurate and then have that be the truth, right? Because I can predict someone's going to win, someone specific is going to win the lottery next weekend, and if that person won, and I wrote a book about flying magical unicorns, and it has that in it as well as a person winning the lottery, does that mean the flying magical unicorns are real? No, right? So you can't say that because there's prophecies in there, even if they were correct, which they're not, it doesn't mean that there's a God or afterlife or anything like that. You have to use what's logical. Is it reasonable? How do they link together? There's no link between them. All you're using it for is explanation. And you're trying to say, well, they happen, I can't explain it any other way, so it must be a God. That's like, I think that's what do they call that? The argument from ignorance, where you don't know, so then you say, oh, it must be this. Like, that's not really how, like, I would never be, as a reasonable person, I would never be able to say, well, okay, I agree with you. Like, I couldn't do that, because I have no link between predictions of the future and the existence of a God. There's no link between that. It's just, you're assuming a link, right?
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that there were a lot of things that pointed to there would come a person who would fulfill all the things that Jesus did. And then it's hard to predict all those.
Well,
and then they happen.
Well, I think that you'll find that the prophecies are not really falsifiable, so they're not really good. They're not really prophecies.
They're not really.
Yeah, they're not really prophecies. They have to be falsifiable and specific, and they're just not. They're written in such a way where someone can make them happen over time.
Oh, like they're too vague.
Yeah, it's like vague, and then anyone can make them happen. So it's like, oh, look, it happened. That just means someone, made them happen. It's like it doesn't mean that.
I mean, yeah, like I could see that for a prophecy. The first part, there's one that says that Bethlehem town would be where he would be born. A lot of people were born in Bethlehem.
I don't think he was born, to tell you the truth, but I don't even think early Christians even believed in a real Jesus. I think it was like a spiritual thing, and over time they he was real.
But you should read some of these books just to see kind of our evidence.
You're assuming there is evidence.
Yeah, exactly. I am.
Are you from a certain faith background?
No, I'm not from a faith background. Both my parents were not religious.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know about it until I was in high school.
Are you from around here?
No, I'm from Connecticut, but I went to school here. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice.
So you work here? Or?
Yeah, I work, remotely, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, even if you're remote, it's a good place to live, right?
No.
Connecticut?
Connecticut, yeah.
Yes.
Here in Gainesville.
So what was your name again?
It's not big enough, really.
Yeah.
Do you wish to live in Orlando-ish?
No, more of a coastal place like Sarasota or something.
Coastal is nice.
Yeah.
So we gave you a Bible before, didn't we?
But for a little while you're here.
Yeah, I'm just here for a little while, yeah, probably.
How's everything going?
Very good.
Honestly, yeah.
So you're learning?
So this is what you do?
And your name is?
Ted.
Ted.
This is what you do? You guys do full time? You do this? Someone pay you to do this or what?
We're a non-profit. We don't do this table all the time, but we work with international students at the University of Florida, welcoming, connecting, serving, incoming students, and while they're here.
So basically you cater people who already believe, and people who don't believe like me, you have problems with. Is that correct?
We have no problem with them.
Nice.
But
Well, you have a
everyone's-
problem trying to show them that what you
Oh,
believe is true, right?
Yeah, if we ever get in a discussion about spiritual
Yes,
things, like
please.
there could be points
You want
where
one
they're
of
like,
the-
no,
one
I
of
think
those
this
later.
or that. I mean, there's a lot of religions, there's a lot of schools of thought, like you and I get
Yeah,
from
yeah.
very different backgrounds,
See,
so
Carly?
your journey's going to look a lot different than mine, so
Right.
that's just true, so
Right.
yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
but just to find out, yeah, where people are from, and there are other supports we do that are just not having to do with faith. So, like practical needs that people have when they arrive to a new country,
Okay.
a ride to the store to get like the Walmart load of all the stuff you need for an apartment,
I'm sure you insert your
temporary
religion there at some point.
homestay, temporary
We
homestay.
don't pressure. If they're not interested,
Yeah, we say we're a faith
Yeah.
our friendship
organization.
is unconditional.